As we continue to refine our containerized cloud-native offering, we've made some changes to how we deploy an HPCC Systems cluster to Azure. This video provides updated instructions of how to deploy your HPCC systems to Azure for spring 2022. In our web browser, we'll go to shell.azure.com. Assuming that you're all set up on Azure, first thing we're going to do is create Azure Resource Group using the command azgroup-create. Then we're going to give it a name. For this example, we'll use RG4, provide a location, which can vary depending on your Azure subscription. We're going to use eastus, for your location may vary. This reply indicates success. Now we're going to create our Kubernetes cluster. AKS create to specify the resource group we just created. Name our Kubernetes cluster. There are additional options such as node count or node size, depending on how you want to create your cluster. This reply indicate command successful. Now we're going to need to set our credentials using the AKS get credentials. And we're also going to specify our resource group and cluster name, which you'll remember from the previous step, RG4 HPCC, and also include the admin parameter. And the message displayed indicates our command was successful. Now we're going to add the HPCC Systems repository with this command helm repo add, and then the URL for the repository, which is hpcc-systems.github.io. And if you've already added the repository, you're going to get this message about the repository already existing. And if that's the case, we're going to want to do helm repo update to make sure we have the latest repository. Once again, this message indicates successful execution. This next step is one of the later enhancements that we've added. Add the storage, the azstorage chart, and do some customizing. Enter the command helm install azstorage hpcc-azurefile chart, and we're going to capture the output from this command, from this section here, the storage, copy this off into its own file. Using our text editor, we're going to save this information here on storage to a mystorage.yaml file. Now we're going to do something very similar with the visibility settings for the ESP, which is going to allow us to access our cluster. We're going to do this similar command. We're going to do a helm show values of our HPCC helm chart, and we're going to save that output to a default values YAML, which we are going to now edit. We're going to copy the ESP section, and we're going to save it off in a myesp.yaml file. Scroll down to the ESP section and look for the visibility attribute. And where it is set to local, we're going to change that and set that to global. Scroll down a little further to the ECL queries section where we can find the visibility attribute is set to local, and once again change that to global. Now save the file as myesp.yaml. What we've done in the previous step is create two custom configuration files, the myesp and the mystorage YAML files. We will now start up our HPCC Systems cluster using those two configuration files overriding the default settings. We'll issue the helm install, the name of our cluster, my HPCC cluster, HPCC chart repository parameter, and then we'll pass in with the -f option, the myesp and the mystorage override files we created in the previous step. And the successful execution of this command indicates our instance has been deployed. Once all the components are ready, you can start using your deployment. Issue the kube control get pods command to check on the state of our pods as the pods are coming online. Once ready, we can issue the kube control get service command, which will then give us our IP address for ECL Watch. To get started using our newly deployed HPCC Systems cloud instance, connect to ECL Watch. Open a browser tab to the external IP address and port identified by the kube control get service command. Once in ECL Watch, you can work on your HPCC Systems cloud instance. We can go to the playground and submit a job, Thor or Roxy. Go to the work units tab and check on the status of your jobs or anything else you need to do. When you're finished with your work, you can shut down the cluster. Just go back over to your command shell, issue the helm list command, see what Helm charts are running. And here you can, by issuing the Helm, uninstall my HPCC cluster. And if we're finished using the storage, we can also uninstall our azstorage chart. And in both cases, we'll still have our resource group. And if we're completely finished using our resource group, we can remove that using the az group delete command. Okay, well, that's it for this developer video. If you found this video interesting or helpful, please click on the like button and let us know. And once again, thank you for watching.